Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and today we're going to be talking with Jason Wood of Miami Cigar and Company. We're going to be talking with him about their newest release, Outcast Cigars, and we're going to learn about, what makes the cigar different and unique versus some of the other ones in the market. So why don't we go ahead and throw it over to the interview, and I will catch you guys on the other side of that. And I'm joined today by Jason Wood of Miami Cigar and Company. How are you, sir?
Doing pretty good. How you doing today?
I'm dodging tornado sirens over here. We were just talking about that off air.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we're getting going a little late because I had to do the monthly test. But anyway, so we're here to talk about Outcast Cigars.
Absolutely.
And while we talk, I'm going to fire one up and get this guy going here. Why don't you tell me a little bit about this? So, I looked at your website and, got the basics, but I'm curious to know, by the way, before we get going, I love the little cat logo guy there.
Thank you. The Cracky Cat?
He reminds me, and you've probably heard the fireworks, the black cat, like fireworks,
Right.
and everything.
Right.
He reminds me a lot of that. And I used to, my state, we've cracked down on fireworks, but I can jump the river and I can get better fireworks over there. And let me tell you, I love looking, getting the fireworks and having fun. And so it reminds me a lot of those fun 4th of July activities.
So I'm familiar with that cat now. Before I was not, I'll be honest. So the first tour that we did, one of the first stops that we had, they told me about these firecrackers. And I was like, I haven't heard of it. And they pulled it up and I was like, all right, I can see the similarity to it.
Yeah.
But now it is a common thing. I hear it from several different people. So you're spot on with that one.
Well, very cool. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to give my cigar a quick cut here. And real quick, before I do. So I have the 5.5 by 50 Robusto. Can you tell me a little bit about, the blend here? Like what I've got going on?
Of course, 100%. So the blend was a very exciting and fun time for us doing this blend. It's a blend very different than any other blend that we've worked on in our portfolio through the almost 40 years that we've been in the business. So this one we started it off with a Brazilian Cobra wrapper, not a wrapper used very often in the industry. Similar, it's about a hybrid Corojo type wrapper. Reason why we chose it is just because of the look and feel of it was what we were looking for, but we also wanted a wrapper that wasn't going to be too overpowering. So that's the first thing when you see the cigar, you may think that it's the stronger cigar, maybe medium plus cigar just because of the wrapper, but don't be fooled by the wrapper. It is not an overpowering cigar. It is a very well balanced wrapper, not to take over the binder or the fillers, which is what's most important on this cigar. So you got the Sumatra binder is going to give it a little bit of spice, give it a little bit of kick up. And then all the fillers are from Dominican Republic, and there's one special filler in there, which is actually the first time we use this pipe tobacco. So it has one filler of Black Cavendish pipe tobacco in it. The cigar has a subtle sweet cap on it. So it's something that just adds to the blend as you smoke through it, getting to the second and even to the final third. It'll kind of go away and just let the blend do its job at the end there for you to enjoy it. So it is a nice, clean, smooth smoking experience. I would say it's like a mild plus cigar. So it's definitely a cigar that you could smoke any time of the day with your coffee or with a rum or a spirit of your choice at night. So it's one that's been fun for us to do because it was totally different. Just using that pipe tobacco on the blend was an exciting time for us.
For sure. Well, so I'm going to cut the cigar, and the official cutting is brought to you by 2guyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. Two Guys have been around for 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows Two Guys, but if you don't, please give them a try. You won't be sorry. Family-owned and operated, 2guyscigars.com does the very best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and excellent customer service. So head on over to twoguyscigars.com for your next cigar purchase. Tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. And remember, that's the number 2guyscigars.com. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and cut my cigar. So are you firing up anything? I don't
There
know
you
if
go.
you're in the nice office. I don't know
There
if
you
that's
go.
an
All
office
good.
you
Yeah,
smoke in or
definitely.
not. But okay. I never know, like if someone's in the office they can smoke in, or if it's one that they have to.
We're
Have to
in the cigar business. We got to be able to smoke, right?
I get that. I do. But all right. So you mentioned the sweet cap, and that's
Yep.
something that I don't remember. Yeah, it's there again, isn't it?
What's that?
It is there. It's a little. It is subtle.
Mhm.
Can you tell me kind of what the some of the thought making or the decision making process that went into adding a sweet cap to the cigar? Because I know that's something that you know can sometimes be a little what's the word I'm looking for? Perhaps divisive amongst some cigar smokers.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so we on this project we've smoked several different blends, used several different types of pipe tobacco also on the blends when getting started. Um, and ultimately went with the sweet tip on the cigar as the first iteration of Outcast. So what we
Yeah.
wanted to do with Outcast was just make it that it was approachable for everybody. Everybody could give it a try. What I like best about this cigar is that it is a change of pace cigar. So it's a change of pace for me to what I'm normally used to smoking. Uh, as a cigar smoker in this industry, we have thousands of great cigars, right? There's definitely a bunch of different options, but we wanted something that was going to be a little bit of an outcast, something that was going to be able to stand out. So in giving it a subtle sweet tip, not anything that's over the top sweet tip or leaves like a kind of a sticky kind of thing in your mouth or anything like that. This is just a quick, nice, subtle sweet tip. Does make it a little bit more approachable for everybody to smoke, but at the same time doesn't dominate the blend. So
No.
that was our thought process on it.
Okay. No, for sure. And I'll say, so I had the sweetness, or I experienced the sweetness when I first lit the cigar and I was getting it lit and it's in the mouth
Yeah.
and everything, and just the first few like kind of puffs on it. But I mean, for those of you on the YouTube and Rumble, I mean, I'm only so far in. I mean, I just lit the cigar, and honestly, it's pretty well gone already. I mean, so if anybody is, sitting back and hearing like, oh, there's sweetness on the cigar, it does kind of go away fairly quickly.
Yeah, it's been so we've been the cigar's been in the market for 3 months.
Yeah.
Uh back on the road, visiting stores again, doing events, talking to the people because it's a huge release for us and I really believe in this cigar. But to
Mm-hmm.
be honest, I think the funniest part has been talking to these guys. So at Miami Cigar, I guess we should go back. Miami Cigar, what we're known for mostly in the market is the Tatiana cigar. So
Yeah.
it is an infused cigar. It's a cigar that's in every cigar shop, thankfully. It's very well received. It has a great following. Our customers and consumers support it a lot, which we love. So for the most part, when we enter store, that's what we're known for, that brand. So when we go to do an event, a lot of the consumers will say, well, that's great. We're glad you're here. Let's try. We have some other like brands that we make in Nicaragua, Nesta Miranda, Don Lino Africa, things that are 100% no infusion in them at all, just made by some other factories in Nicaragua. So like we love to smoke those cigars, but we don't really like to smoke flavored cigars. Like, all right, yeah, that's great because this cigar is not a flavored cigar. Oh, but
No.
I heard you say that it has a sweet cap. Yeah, it does. It has a subtle sweet cap on it, but I want you guys still to give it a try. Oh, I don't smoke sweet cap. Listen, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. I really believe in this cigar. Give it a try. It's a change of pace cigar. It's not what you're normally used to or accustomed to. But I promise you, it's a cigar that's gonna fit in your portfolio or in your range of cigars you're gonna smoke. Why? The first one, pipe tobacco. You ever smoke a cigar with pipe tobacco? Most people have not. I go give it a try. It's just nice. It's different. It's an easy smoking
It's
experience.
so
It's
subtle and soft on the retrohale
yeah.
too. Like there's like no bite whatsoever
Mm,
to it.
There's one thing that we saw as well. That to be honest, I didn't think about it. I experienced it, but it wasn't one of my main talking points when talking about the product. But starting to do events and sampling the cigars in the stores was having the consumers come back to me and say, it's kind of like a palate cleanser. And I'm like, oh, well, explain that to me. They're like, yeah, I normally smoke medium plus. Sometimes I jump up to full bodies. This is the third cigar I've had today. And I finished the cigar and I kind of like, I have a clean palate. Like I can go wherever from here now. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, I could go back to a mild plus or a medium cigar and I'm not that full body that I just smoked isn't killing my experience because it's kind of like my palate is so clean. And I was like, it does. I don't really smoke too many full body cigars, but just saying, I'm like taking that back to the office and talking to the guys here and like, what do you guys think about that? They're like, it is true. We're not gonna take credit. That wasn't the point behind it, but
Yeah.
the palate cleansing on it is such a big thing to a lot of these smokers that they're like, first not into flavored again, not it's not flavored. Oh, I don't smoke anything sweet tip. Just give it a try and enjoy this experience because it's a different type of smoking experience altogether.
No, for sure. And so okay, full disclosure. So this is my first cigar of today, but we're recording this after I I did a thing on the show, and I call it we called it the Battle of the Budgets, and basically we took 8 cigars, all of which under $8 MSRP, and we smoked them blind and kind of compared and contrasted and came up with what we thought was the best of this group.
Okay.
And now I say all that to say, my panel and we did that in one day. So we recorded 3 episodes in one day, and over the course of one day, smoked 10 cigars. So by the end of Saturday, I was spent, man. And like Sunday, I didn't have a cigar.
Right.
Monday, I had, I think, maybe one. So, I'm coming in on this after really burning out the palate, and I'll say this is very nice. This is a very pleasant. You're right. You would look at this and you're thinking, okay, this is going to be a slightly strong. It is relative right off the light. It is relatively mild and smooth right off the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's you have this cigar with a coffee in the morning. It's amazing. It's an amazing experience. The pairing for me on that one is fantastic.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
So then, I know you guys came out with this at PCA. I saw you guys at PCA with it.
Mhm.
What was the initial response? How is it gone since its launch?
So we did a soft launch at PCA this year, and then we were able to finally we got the product in. We started shipping at the end of June. So June is when we started getting into the stores. We started hitting the territories at the end of July, and just visiting stores, getting stuff set up for events. So this month is actually the first month that we start a lot of Cigar of the Month programs. So we have a lot of different type of programs going on throughout the United States in different stores with the product leading up to big events in November. So it's kind of just like scaling up. What we've been
Yeah.
doing a lot is just visiting and getting the product placed. So the product placement has been great. The reorders, to be honest, has been the most satisfying part of the whole process. Is just seeing people really buying in and actually trying the cigar and going back to it. Because in our industry, it's like the initial placement, thankfully, as we've been around since 1989, the initial placement is something that we're able to do with, I wouldn't say easy, but maybe easier than most because of the time that we've been in the market. Consumers will normally go and try it because it's a new cigar. The retailers will push it. So that first reorder, you normally get it because it's just like the store will buy a couple boxes. Everybody in the store will try something new. They'll give it a try. The big one for us is that second reorder because that second reorder shows that customer, that consumer already went back to the product more than once. So they went back again. So seeing those and just the organic growth, we went a little bit different on this one. We went very heavy on socials, very heavy just on getting the word out that way. And then now just going face to face and going back into the stores and getting people to allow it to grow organically has been pretty cool because it's a different process than what we used to.
That's neat. That's really cool. Um, and then this cigar. So I'm obviously smoking the robusto. Um, this cigar comes in different vitolas.
Yeah, it comes in 4 different sizes. So start with a Corona Gordo, we have a 6x47. Then we have the Robusto, which is 5x50. Our Toro's 5.5x54. And then our Gordo is 6x58.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, very
One of the
cool.
cool things in the process, so like I said, it's the first time using pipe tobacco on a full-on blend, on a full-on
Yeah.
brand. I have just not a limited edition or anything like that. So many years. So I'm going on 18 years in the industry. Visiting stores that's what we do, right? We're constantly visiting our customers, checking out, seeing what's going on, building that relationship with them. For 17 and a half years, I would walk by the pipe tobacco section and I wouldn't even like it wasn't my thing. Like I didn't know much about pipe tobacco. We would just walk by. the last couple months, it's such a change for me now because now I'm like, wow, it's like it's a whole new world. Because
Yeah.
now I see this pipe tobacco, I'm like, man, there's so many different things that we can do now. And visiting, they're like, oh, you like pipe tobacco? Like, I kind of do now. So yeah, I'm intrigued because it's like, okay, so working with the factory, and then now we're like, all right, now we've introduced this element into the cigar, which is a newer one for us in the factory, and there's so many different options. So it's like, and then every store you have a couple of pipe tobacco guys that's like their thing, and just picking their brain, like, okay, I'm new to this. We pick this. I picked this type of pipe tobacco because of this, this, and this. But what else would you recommend? And it's just like the options and the opportunities are endless for like the different like iterations of Outcast that we can do moving forward.
That's really cool. And I'll say, so I've never smoked a pipe. I personally, I've had somebody talk to me about it. I've seen people do it. I personally find, or I look at it and think that looks like way too much work. I just want to light my thing and just enjoy it,
Right.
which I have with the cigar. With the pipe, you got to tamp it, you got to do all this stuff, you keep it lit and everything else. And so it just seems like too much effort and work for me. But I will say I love the aromatics of pipe tobacco,
Yeah.
and it's so like rich and different, different aromatics and flavors and things of that nature. And so, as I'm sitting here smoking this, and both just the smoke that is coming off of it, but then also what I get from the retrohale from it and everything. It's giving me a different aromatic. It's giving me a different aroma to the air than just, let's say, one of your average normal, everybody has it kind of cigars going on. And so that subtle little bit of pipe tobacco to your point, I can tell is making a difference with smoking this. And so that's really neat. I like that a lot. And you're right, it adds something different and unique to the cigar.
Yeah. The aromatics on it also on the pipe tobacco, it's just the amount that we use. It's not so overpowering in like a
Hmm.
cigar lounge or anything that maybe some of the other cigars may would be, that it just kind of like dominates the lounge.
Yeah,
This
this
one's
isn't like an
easy,
acid or something like
right?
that. This is very subtle.
Right. It's easy to smoke, and it's not for those. Some do get bothered by some more aromatic cigars when they're smoking their cigar. Personally, I don't, but some people do. So this cigar, you wouldn't really have to worry. No one's gonna really be upset with this cigar being smoked in the
No.
lounge because it's not, the aromatic is nice and it's very subtle.
No, and I would say that for those people who maybe are sitting around and smoking with their lady friend or their wife or something like that, this would be a nice aromatic change to perhaps one of your more robust pure cigar tobacco
Yeah,
cigars.
for sure.
But anyway, so well, very cool. Now let's talk a little bit about Miami Cigar and Company as a whole. So
Hmm.
let's back up a minute. You talked. You mentioned Tatiana is
Yes.
is one of the really big brands. Like you said, it's probably the one most people maybe associate with you guys.
Hmm.
Um, uh, so with that brand, I'm gonna briefly divert to probably not a favorite topic, but we hear a lot about the different proposed flavor bans and things of
Hmm.
that nature.
Of course.
What kind of level of concern do you guys have as it relates to that?
Yeah, so that's always been obviously a concern, and say a cloud that's like over the industry, and particularly for companies like ours, that is, so we have brands that are really relevant in that space. But it's been something it's been around for a long time.
Yeah,
The questions have been there, the potential has been there. Um, the teams that we have that are fighting for us and doing what needs to be done as an industry have been doing a great job, to the point now where I think we're in a really good place in different certain states, maybe not as great as we would like, but the overall feel right now is that we're in a very good place, and just being prepared and being set up for the future, for whatever that may be, if that situation were to come back to the forefront, just having the proper portfolio in place of different segments of cigars to be prepared to be able to continue moving this company forward
for
for another
sure.
40, 50 years. Yeah.
No, for sure. Which then leads obviously to some of the other offerings that you mentioned, namely, Nestor Miranda Special Selection, the Don Lino Africa. Both cigars I've had and both cigars I've enjoyed.
Yeah, so those all of our brands are so we're a small family business. All of our brands right now, with the exception of Outcast, is off of one of our family members. So all the Nestor Miranda cigars. Nestor Miranda is one of our founders. So he's my father-in-law. Started the company with his wife Mariana in 1989. So we have a lot of brands that are under his name, whether it be Special Selection in Connecticut, Habanos, all the Don Linos. That was the first brand that they introduced into the United States. So that's their baby. They've had it. It's had its ups and downs in the industry through times.
Yeah.
Was a very big brand at times and went down, coming back up now. So it's been in the industry forever. And then the Tatiana brand was actually a brand that Nestor released for his daughter about 27 years ago, and that's how I came into the picture with Miami Cigar because that's my wife. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So the whole family just brings it back together, and the whole portfolio. So being like the Tatianas, and then moving on to all the Nestor's products in Nicaragua, we saw just like a gap there, right? Like in our portfolio, because ideally in a perfect world, we have our Tatiana smokers that they always stay in Tatianas. They don't graduate and try something else. But if they were to want to try something else, we find that our Nestor cigars are a little bit too strong. So a little bit too close to the medium plus range, too big
Yeah.
of a jump to jump from one to the other. So it is another spot where Outcasts fit in perfectly as well. Yeah, it gives them just kind of like that natural progression to the next product, an unflavored option, but also something that they can enjoy and that's easy to smoke.
I could see that. I could see where if somebody is used to smoking like a flavored and infused cigar, that giving them the Outcast here, kind of holds their hand into the world, the larger, broader world of cigars. There,
Yeah.
it's got that, like you said, that sweet cap, but that goes away pretty quick. It's got that cigar or pipe tobacco that gives it that subtle aromatic. But on the other hand, it's a full, regular tobacco cigar,
Mhm.
and I'll say it's a slow smoke. That's the other thing I will point out. When I got this, I was like, okay, 5x50 robusto, whatever. We've been at this now for 20 minutes, and I'm smoking at my regular pace, and I'm now looking, and I'm forcing to slow myself down because I think my regular smoking pace is too fast for the cigar. I'm gonna have to give it a little bit more time. So it's a nice slow smoke. You get a lot of time out of these things.
Yeah, yeah, you do. It was one of the challenges at first was using the pipe tobacco just on the combustion side of it. So trying to figure out how much pipe tobacco to use. Um, well, not as combustible as some of the other tobaccos that we're used to, just because of the moistness of the tobacco.
Yeah.
So just being careful and being cognizant of that, and making sure, okay, we use the right amount. So in a bunch of different trials and errors and seeing what we can do, that's great, but maybe now it's a little bit too aromatic. And at the same time, being too aromatic is also the combustion is not where it needs to be either. So that's where we started with like the issues with it and how can we kind of resolve it. And we got to a nice sweet spot with it now, where it works right. It's you see it throughout, you can experience it throughout the cigar. Not too overpowering, and it doesn't kill the combustion of the cigar or cause a bad burn on the product.
No, not at all. I mean, it's doing really well. I'm enjoying it, and I like that it's continually kicking off some smoke, but it's not like sitting here. I like a smokestack. I like a cigar that kicks off a lot of smoke, and it does
Uh-huh.
when you're puffing on it.
Okay.
But when it's sitting in the ashtray or sitting or sitting or like I'm just holding it, I like a little smoke coming off of it. But if it's too much, it starts to get me wondering, like, okay, why is it kicking off that
Right.
much smoke? Because there are some cigars that you guys don't make, but and I'm not going to name, but every once in a while look at that and I'm like, what is causing that? Okay,
Magic. Magic.
yeah, I don't know if better living through chemical. Let's put it that way, So I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, we need to just like maybe not do that again. But no. So it's nice. It's kicking off that smoke and it's just making a nice aromatic, and I'm really enjoying it. Very good, very good. So then you said that there's other pipe tobaccos that you want to kind of experiment with.
Yeah.
What is up next, or what is I mean, I know you guys are just rolling this out, so maybe we don't want to be talking about what's up next. It's
Yeah.
that whole what's new thing.
And we
But
always have
like,
to be, you always have to be evolving and looking at different things. So we actually just got back from the factory last week, and just we're working on different iterations of it. We are looking at one now also without sweet tip, so we're moving the sweet tip altogether, to see how that would play out. And then using going now for more of medium bodied cigar as well is something that we're looking at. These are all options, not necessarily things that we would be doing. And
yeah,
then just different pipe tobaccos that we're looking to use in the blends as well, to
okay.
get those in there, to get those. We gotta sample those and try them and see how it works because there's some real interesting pipe tobaccos that we can use that can bring different things to the table.
Well, precisely. I mean, you can do all kinds of different. You could do. I'm not the biggest limited edition kind of fan, but like with pipe tobacco, you could do, holiday related releases. You could do all kinds of different things because I know there's pipe tobaccos that come out and everything around then.
Yeah, yeah. Limited
So,
edition is it's big. It's actually this cigar was born off of a limited edition.
oh, okay,
Yeah, for the Tatiana 25th anniversary, we wanted to do something to commemorate the 25 years, and we weren't sure exactly what we wanted to do. So 2 years ago, we did a limited edition. It was the first time that we actually used any pipe tobacco. So we experimented it on that limited edition to see how it would go. The reaction from the consumer base was great. Limiteds are awesome. You're in and out. Everybody gets to try it, something different, something special, and
yeah,
we liked the reception that we received on that one. We saw that the factory could produce these and keep the quality where it needs to be, and that just gave us the confidence that the blend was already made. Now we just need to work on the branding of it, and then that's how the branding got into it. Um, the branding was a fun part. That was we used a whole different design team for this one. I wanted something very different to what we have in our portfolio currently, and used the team out in the Dominican Republic and told them, okay, this is what I'm looking for. Like, this is the name. We already had the name of the brand picked. I'm looking for like the circular logo. I love the circular logos. Like that's like the Miami cigar. It's just easy to brand,
yeah.
but I wanted it to be like a singular animal, like one that walks on its own. Like, all right, let's look at different ones. So they ended up a panther was one that they went with, and then they started doing different iterations of the panther. And I just liked this cracky cap. Like I loved it, and
No, it's great.
I showed it to the office, and they were like, "Okay, we like this one and this one, but that one is horrible." And it was the one that I liked. And I'm like, "You don't like?" They're like, "No, that is you cannot use that." And I'm like, "All right, let's go again." And then when I tell the designers, "Okay, here's the feedback from the team, this and that. Keep the cracky cat. Like I want to keep him, but let's do a couple other ones." All right. So then they would get the other ones set up. Show the team again. What do you guys think about this? Like, why is that one still there? I go, it's there because I like it. Like, just what do you like in the other ones? And they're like, all right, and they kept on. We went back and forth like that for months. And then one night I'm at dinner with my wife. I look at my phone and she's like, "What are you looking at?" And I just turned the phone and I showed her the logo again. She's like, "You love that logo?" I go, "Yeah, I love it." And she's like, "So why haven't you picked it?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's just nobody gives me like the confidence with it, but I know it's gonna work. Like either you love it or you hate it, but everybody's gonna talk about it. It's just like so like I keep staring at this thing. Like it's cool."
Dude, it's like I told you. I mean, it reminded me of fireworks, and I'm sitting here going like, hell yeah, I want to light that thing on fire. So
So
like,
yeah,
yeah.
she's like, just do it. Like if you really believe it, she's like, just do it. And I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm gonna do it. And then I just went forward, and now it's amazing. Now everybody that didn't like it, now they like it.
Well, and you had the cat walking around PCA, so
Yeah,
it gives you a
yeah,
mascot too.
yeah,
That's kind of cool.
for sure.
So
She's been helping us out with a lot of like the BTC events, like the multi vendors, like Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival, things like
yeah,
that. She's been going out there with us, and it's been a hit. The consumers are eating it up. They love it. She's out
yeah,
there doing her thing, having fun, helping sell the product. It's just a different vibe. Like for us, is even to see there, like just every like our booth was packed, and people just kept coming. They're like, so and so told me I had to come here. So and so had to come here.
yeah,
So seeing the amount of people there, and the excitement is one thing, but then also having like other manufacturers, like people that we've worked with and against forever, coming up and be like, "Hey, that's really cool what you guys are doing." Like that's like
yeah.
we like the excitement that you're bringing into the industry, and like everybody seems like really hyped up for this brand, and you're doing a great job. I'm like, all right, that's cool to see that.
Well, and it's fun to see somebody doing something different. let's be real. We hear from all these different companies, and it's like, hey, my new cigar is the greatest thing ever, and this is why, the way that I use this one tobacco that everybody else uses, I used it different, and blah blah blah, and this is why mine is so much greater. It's like you're at least coming in with something that actually is legitimately different and something that's unique. I mean, it adds something new to the conversation.
Right, right. Yeah, definitely, definitely. But it's
So
like I said, it's been such a good time and an enjoyable experience for us. And it's been some time since we've been out in the market. But getting back out into the market, I mean, we see everybody at conventions and stuff like that, but really getting out and going to the stores and doing the store visits again, it's just like it's just brought like more like excitement into like what we do, and I'm really enjoying it.
no, that's really great. Um, so for people who want to learn more about Outcast and Miami Cigar and Company, where should people go to do so?
So that's funny that you asked because our website is actually we just started redoing it, so it's under construction right now for Miami Cigar. The Outcast Cigars website is up and running, but just the reception we've gotten off of the Outcast website and the interaction that we've gotten, we decided to go ahead and revamp our entire Miami Cigar website as well. It was a very corporate website, to be honest. In the past, it was all just themed behind Miami Cigar colors, and then our brands. Our brands are so different and so unique like Tatiana just has its own identity. So I felt like seeing Outcast have its own identity and kind of grow on its own like that, I was like, why wouldn't we have like our bigger brands like that as well? So currently
Yeah,
right now, if you go to miamicigar.com, it just has our retailer page so you can find the products on there right now. And then the Outcast Cigars has its information on there as well with its retailer page. But that should be coming up by the end of October. We'll have the site back up and running.
okay, all right. And then social media, like you guys
Mhm.
on
So
any socials?
everything, right. So the corporate page will be at Miami Cigar. So on everything, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, and then also on Facebook as well. And then Outcast Cigars, each brand has theirs as well. So you can either go to Miami Cigar, Outcast Cigars, Tatiana Cigars, or Nesta Miranda Cigars. Everybody has their own Instagrams and
Very, very
Facebook,
cool.
everything. Yeah.
Excellent. Well,
Mhm.
Jason, I am enjoying this. I think it's I think it's a fine product, and I think you know, anybody who maybe has heard about the sweet cap or something like that, and it goes away so quickly, but it does add that little bit in the very beginning, but you get like notes of I'm getting like about halfway through, I got like a distinct kind of like chocolatey kind of component flavor note
Definitely.
to it and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's good, and the aromatics of the pipe tobacco just add that little something something to it, and I actually it's really nice, and you're right, it is something a little different, little subtly different, but a little
Mhm.
different than your average. And I think back to your point about it being a palate cleanser, I think it would serve that purpose well for a variety of reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't agree more. It definitely has its place in the market. It's a cigar that's gonna do well. So I would just say for all of you out there, just give it a try.
Yeah.
Again, it's not gonna hurt anybody's feelings if you try it and you don't like it. But I promise it'll be one that'll sit it'll sit well, it's gonna be clean and it's gonna be something you say, you know what, I'll revisit that cigar. And it'll be one that you'll definitely go back to.
Yeah. No, I'm digging it. Jason, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I really do appreciate it, and good luck with the future rollout of Outcast Cigars.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for giving me the time and getting on the call. I appreciate it. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one, everybody.
You too.
All right. Goodbye.
And I really want to thank Jason Wood for taking time out of his day to talk with us about Outcast Cigars and Miami Cigar and Company. Um, guys, I have to admit, um, I knew about the sweet cap coming in, and I have to admit I wasn't particularly thrilled about that prospect. Why? The sweet cap goes away very, very quickly. I mean it. When I told him, it was there when I lit the cigar, and it was there very initially. Realistically, it went away very, very rapidly. And what's nice is then the aromatic of the little bit of pipe tobacco does come through. You do get kind of a little bit of a sweetness, but it's not sweetness because of that sweet cap. The sweet cap, it's gone. It's gone quickly. So, yeah, if that's something that you've heard and it's kind of keeping you away, maybe you're like, I don't do sweet cap cigars or something like that, it'll go away very, very quickly. At least the one that I have here did. So yeah, don't let that keep you from giving this a try. It is a nice, mild plus at most cigar. I mean, I'm about halfway, maybe a little bit past halfway, and this is not anything particularly heavy at all. It is like he said. It's a palate cleanser. It's nice. Anyway, well, let's move on and do something else here. It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by
Villiger.
Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family-owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. I swear, it does kick off a ton of smoke when you're smoking it, though. It's nice. All right, so I've got a movie and a podcast for you guys today. The movie, for those of you who have been listening to the show for a little while, I watched it earlier this year in theaters. It is now on Hulu, and I watched it again because I liked it just that much. It's a horror movie, so it's good for the season. But it's not a horror movie that, you're going to be turned off by. It's not Terrifier 3. I'll put it that way. It's not Terrifier 3. But the movie's The Monkey. It made it to Hulu. And, guys, I spoke about this back when I saw it in theaters, and I will continue to hype on this movie. This movie was so good. It's about this toy monkey that when you wind the key, it plays the drum, and when it does, somebody dies. And it's not necessarily who you want or think is going to die. It's random, and the death scenes are so over the top and crazy that sometimes you can't help but be laughing at it. I mean, it's so darkly funny. This movie has a real humorous streak through it that is hard to ignore, and but you don't want to. It makes it so much fun. I loved The Monkey. It was a very enjoyable movie, and if you're in the spooky season and looking for something fun to watch, check out The Monkey. It's on Hulu. I highly recommend it. Along those lines, the podcast that I want to recommend, with full disclosure, I know the one guy, Justin, that's on it. The name of the show, it's on Spotify. It might be elsewhere, but I know it's on Spotify. It's called All Guts So Gory. All Guts So Gory. And it's 3 guys, and basically each episode, one of the guys picks a horror movie, they watch it, and they discuss it. And so if you're into horror movies and you like some discussion and analysis and breakdown of those movies, give it a shot. They've got about 6 episodes or so out, so they're relatively new. One of them is the first Terrifier movie, so I haven't listened to that one, so maybe perhaps they would have told me what I was getting into. But their most recent one is about the movie The Descent. They did one on John Carpenter's The Thing. It's fun. It's a good show. Give it a try. And like I said, I know the guy Justin. He's a funny dude. It's if you're into horror movies and you're looking for a podcast recommendation, give it a shot. All Guts So Gory. All righty. We're going to move on and go do this now. It's time to fly high with Blackbird Cigars. Blackbird Cigars offers you remarkable quality using the most delicate and finest tobacco to always ensure that you're receiving unsurpassed cigars. Blackbird Cigars strives to give you undoubted repeating flavor for every cigar you smoke and impressive quality so that you can always expect greatness. Check out their website for a full list of stores carrying Blackbird Cigars and give them a test flight. Blackbird Cigars can't clip our wings. Alrighty, so today we're going to learn about Claudia Gordon. Claudia Gordon was born in Jamaica in 1972. At the age of 8, she suddenly lost her hearing due to an unknown illness. In her rural village, deafness was deeply misunderstood. People whispered that she was cursed or possessed. Perhaps an outcast. Teachers refused to educate her, and some children mocked or avoided her altogether. Feeling isolated and hopeless, her mother immigrated to the United States to give Claudia a chance at a better life. And when Claudia joined her in New York a few years later, she faced new challenges. She was not only deaf, but also a black immigrant trying to navigate an unfamiliar culture. But Gordon refused to be defined by what others thought she couldn't do. She learned American Sign Language, excelled in school, and later attended Howard University, where she graduated summa cum laude. Then she made history. In 2000, Claudia Gordon became the first black deaf woman to graduate from an American law school, American University's Washington College of Law. She went on to work as a policy advisor in the White House, focusing on disability rights and employment equality. Her journey from being a shunned child to shaping national policy became a beacon of empowerment for the deaf and disabled community. So be like Claudia Gordon and Blackbird Cigars, and don't let anybody clip your wings. I was trying to theme, with the name of the cigar in the Blackbird segment there, if you caught what I did there. Anyway, trying to tie the dots together or connect the dots like other people like to do. Anyway, well, guys, I'm available on the socials, on Instagram at The Cigar Pulpit. I'm on Facebook, where we have the Pulpit Parishioners group. I'm on Twitter/X. You can reach out to us there and hang out. I'm on Rumble and YouTube if you want to watch the show. I also do Spotify video. If you want to watch it on Spotify, you can check it out there. And then I do need your calls and questions for the Ask the Pulpit episodes. You can give us a call on the hotline at area code 863-874-0000. That's area code 863-874-0000. And leave your comments, your questions, concerns, whatever. Have you had the Outcast cigar? Have you tried it? If so, what did you think of it? Call me. Let me know your thoughts. Otherwise, this is kind of a short episode today. I've been busy, and this one kind of snuck in and was good. Kind of trying to get ahead of the game here, trying to see what else we can get rolling for the parishioners and everything, kind of closing out the year. I mean, my God, guys, can you believe it's already, by the time this episode airs, it'll be mid-October. It'll be the second half of October at that point, which is just insane to me. We're rapidly approaching the holiday season, and that's nutty. That's crazy. I can't get over how quickly this year has gone. I will say, for those of you... I'm just going to tease this. I'm just going to tease it, and I'm just going to say it. Perhaps, if you're looking for, if you want to get yourself a Christmas gift, or if you want to tell a loved one to get you a Christmas gift, perhaps you should be paying attention to my socials on Black Friday. That's all I'm going to say. There's a plan in motion, and Black Friday might be a good time to pay attention. So, anyway, just saying. Otherwise, yeah, Final thoughts on the Outcast cigar. I'm down to the final third here. This has been a very pleasant smoke. It's been surprising. Like I said, I knew about the sweet cap. I thought it was going to be sweet all the way through. It was sweet for, at best, a solid 60 seconds. I mean, it went very quickly. The pipe tobacco smoke has definitely added a nice aromatic to my garage. It's been very... it's flavorful. I mentioned the chocolate during the interview. There is a chocolate component to it, but it's not a flavored cigar. This is not one where it's not like a Tatiana, where you're getting like a flavor of chocolate. It's just the natural, flavor of the tobacco, and this is good. I will say, strength-wise, as I'm in the final third here, it has picked up a little bit. I'm still very, very hesitant to even say medium. I know. Jason kind of said medium. Realistically, I'm going to say that this cigar kind of falls in that, at best, mild plus range here at the end. But realistically, yeah, it's a fairly easy smoke. It would make a really good one with a cup of coffee. He mentioned that a couple of times. I would say that it would be a really good cup of coffee cigar. Might be a really good end of the night when you just want a little something to kind of close out the evening cigar. Yeah, this is not anything that should be off-putting or too much for anybody. It's definitely right in there. And I will say too, and I meant it when I said it to him, if you have somebody in your life that you're trying to get into cigars, and maybe you've started with the flavored and infused stuff, and you want to ease them into the regular, tobacco forward premium cigars that most of us smoke, this is a good kind of bridge. You get that premium tobacco smoke experience with just that little bit of the pipe tobacco that adds a little something and a little something familiar to the folks that are looking for something a little more aromatic than just pipe or cigar tobacco. That sweet cap kind of gets them right when they first light it up, so it's not like it's familiar to them right off the bat. But again, that goes away really quickly. But at that point, you're committed, you're in on it, and it's not a big thing. I actually really do think this cigar serves a true purpose in the industry. I'm sitting here, and I mean no disrespect to the fine folks at Miami Cigar and Company. I am extraordinarily surprised by this cigar. This cigar has caught me off guard. I did not expect going into this episode to be feeling about this cigar at the conclusion of it that I do. And I'm not saying that I expected to hate it. I just didn't really expect to have such a strong feeling about it. And I'll say that this cigar serves a legit purpose for a couple of different reasons. And I think that a retailer who takes a moment to smoke it and really kind of think it through, I think a retailer could do really good things with this cigar to the right customer. I actually really think this is something that could get a Tatiana or Deadwood tobacco, smoker to bridge that gap between the cigars they normally smoke to your average premium tobacco cigar. So, I don't know, something to consider. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I truly appreciate it. This has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick. Everybody, stay safe and stay smoky. Take care, everyone.